Hey guys, sorry, I was just getting ready for the day. I figured I'll post this video first. We're gonna go live with this. I was also gonna read a little bit here first, and then, we can go from there. So, first out like this. You can also find out my TikTok, but I wanted to mention, as I was going to make this video, the 1 Minute Me video, on my, I guess you call it news feed of YouTube. So there was a video of Jelly Roll and really put tears in my eyes. I'm actually gonna leave the link here because it's about Fentanyl Keys, and his words were just, nobody could explain it like him. I believe he may be the only human being on earth, literally, that truly understands it. And it's important to me because I bet it's important to a lot of people. I'm sure anybody watching this video right now has lost someone to fentanyl, to something in that degree. And I'll leave the link in the video. So we're going to start with chapter 1, and then I'll go live, and we can do the rest live. It's going to take pauses, of course. I'm not just going to read the book and not pause. This kind of video is we're going to pause and we're going to talk about it, okay? So, I've already made a video on here about the prologue, so check it out. And chapter 1, that's where we're going to start. Here's the book. Alright, so y'all ready? I'm ready. Okay, raising kids in the South. Raising kids in the South used to be more about respecting your parents and keeping your mouth shut. Today the rules have reversed. It's more about respecting the kids. Disagreeing with the parent was never permitted in my house, no matter how bad it got. There was an understanding to stay mute, and if I didn't, there were consequences. Okay, so I was born in the 90s, and she's 100% correct on that, just so y'all know. I don't know if Gen Z's watching, but I'm obviously born in the 90s, and that's how it was for me too. I don't know about you. You can comment, let me know. And anyway, in the Bible, it says your tongue is your sword. My tongue and my sword were me singing. My whole life, childhood, I sang along with the car radio on the way to dance class. I sang when I was sad. To me, the radio on the way to dance class, I'm sorry, I reread that, here we go. I was born and went to school in Macomb, Mississippi. And I lived in Kentland, Louisiana, 25 miles away, and lived. Everyone knew everyone in Kentland. Doors were left unlocked. Social lives revolved around church and keypad. Just so true at that time. I think Britney Spears is about 10 years older than I am, 33. So she's in her, 40s, I believe. I'm definitely a huge Britney Spears fan. And we didn't have social media. We didn't have any of that. And she still was, to me, the most famous person on earth. She's so talented. And it's so amazing. Okay. So it says, parties, kids were put in matching outfits and everyone knew how to shoot a gun. The area's main historic site was Camp Moore, a Confederate training base that built by Jefferson Davis for Thanksgiving, and the sight of people dressed up in military outfits was a reminder that the holiday was coming. I love that time of year. But chocolate, hot chocolate, the smell of the fireplace is aluminum. The colors of the fall leaves on the ground and wood paneling. As a girl, I went to Sonic, rode go-karts, played basketball, and attended a Christian school called Park Lane Academy. The first time I was truly touched and got shivers down my spine was hearing our housekeeper singing in the laundry room. I always do the family laundry and ironing. But when times were financially hard, my mom would hire someone. When financially better, my mom would hire someone to help. The housekeeper sung gospel music, and it was literally an awakening to a whole new world. I'll never forget it. Okay. Ever since then, my longing and passion is to sing. Sorry, I lost my spot. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Singing is magic. When I sing, I own who I am. I can communicate purely. When you sing, you stop using the language of hi, how are you? You're able to say things that are much more profound. Singing takes me to a magical, mystical world. They're much more profound. Place where language doesn't matter anymore. Where anything is possible. All I wanted was to be taken away from the everyday world. Sorry, my allergies have been acting up lately. And into that realm where I could express myself without thinking. When I was alone with my thoughts, my mind filled with worries and fears. Music stopped the noise, made me feel confident, and took me to a pure place of expressing myself exactly as I wanted to be seen and heard. Singing took me into the presence of a divine. As long as I was singing, I was half outside the world. I'd be playing in the backyard like any kid would. But my thoughts and feelings and hopes were somewhere else. I worked hard to make things look the way I wanted them to. I took myself very seriously when I shot silly music videos to Mariah Carey songs in my girlfriend's backyard. By age 8, I thought I was a director. Nobody in my town seemed to be doing stuff like that. But I knew what I wanted to see in the world, and I tried to make it so. Artists make things and play characters because they want to escape into a faraway world, and escape was exactly what I needed. I wanted to live inside my dreams, my wonderful fictitious world, and never think about reality if I could help it. Singing bridged really a fantasy. The world I was living in and the world I was desperately wanted to inhabit. Tragedy turns my family. My middle name comes from my father's mother, Emma Jane Spears, who went by Jean. I've seen pictures of her, and I understand why everyone said we look alike. I want to pause right there because, sorry, my hair's a mess, you guys. I want to pause right there because, she really went for what she wanted. And sometimes, when you really want something, you gotta go for it. And I remember being me, that little girl, doing some of those kind of things, but it wasn't singing for me. Something totally different. And I never understood why I did that or wanted to do that. Why am I doing these things? Because I wasn't aware of what that career would be called. It's kind of a long story, but long story short, I figured it out later in life. So now I'm at school to do it. And I would pretend to direct TV shows. And I would be the creator of them. And that's always been my passion. I just wish I figured it out earlier like Britney Spears did. Back to the book. Sorry, guys. Alike. Same blonde hair, same smile. She looks younger than she was. Her husband, my grandfather, Gene Spears Sr., was abusive. Gene suffered the loss of a baby when he was only 3 days old. Gene sent Gene to Southeast Louisiana Hospital, by all accounts horrible asylum, in Matterville, where she was put on lithium in 1966. When she was 31, my grandmother Jean shot herself with a shotgun on her infant son's grave. Just over 8 years after his death, I can't imagine the grief that she must have felt. The way people talk about men like June in the South is so same. Nothing was good enough for him. That he was. Sorry, there was a phone call coming in. Okay, so nothing was good enough for him. That he was a perfectionist. That he was a very involved father. I would probably put it more harshly than that. A sports fanatic, June made my father exercise long past exhaustion. Each day when my father finished basketball practice, no matter how tired and hungry he was, he still had to shoot 100 more baskets before he come inside. June was an officer for the Baton Rouge Police Department, and he eventually had 10 children with 3 wives. And as far as I can tell, no one has a good word to say about the first 50 years of his life. Even in my family, it was said that the Spears men tended to be bad news, especially in terms of how they treated women. Jen wasn't the only wife. June sent the mental hospital. He sent his second wife there too. One of my father's half sisters has said that June sexually abused her starting when she was 11 until she finally ran away at 16. My father was 13 when June died on the grave. I know that trauma is part of why my father was how he was with my siblings and me. Why for him, nothing was ever good enough. My father pushed my brother for excelling sports. He drank until he couldn't drink anymore. He disappeared for days at a time. When my father drank, he was extremely mean. But June softened her and got older. I didn't experience the vicious man who had abused my father and his siblings, but rather a grandfather who seemed to be patient and sweet. I want to stop there. This is kind of tough for me to even be reading this. I suffer from social anxiety because basically my parents divorced when they were 12 and my dad was an alcoholic. It just wasn't a good life and it caused me to have just a lot of anxiety, social anxiety, irregular anxiety, fidgety at times, and I just struggle with that. So me on here right now is me trying to get through that and get through the struggle and be the best version of myself that I can be. My father's world and my mother's world were completely opposite from each other. According to my mother, my mom's mom, my grandmother Lily Patel, was from an elegant, sophisticated family in London. She had an exotic air about her. Everyone commented on her. She was British, and her father was from the Mediterranean island of Malta. Her uncle was a bookbinder. The whole family played instruments and loved to sing. During World War II, Lily met an American soldier, my grandfather, Barney Bridges, at a dance for the soldiers. He was a driver for the generals, and he loved driving fast. She was disappointed, though, when he fought with her. Just a second, guys. Sorry. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll go live and read some more. See you guys. Goodbye.